Entering Week 5, Buffalo State boasted a 3-1 record, an accomplishment they hadn't had since 2000. In pursuit of turning the season into so much more, the Bengals traveled to Maryland to take on Frostburg, in search of win number 4.
Buffalo State starts off with the ball, but goes 3 and out, giving Frostburg momentum. Marcus Smith takes the carry inside, but sees an open lane to the right, so he bounces it out and runs 64 yards to set up a first and goal. Ken Emmons cashes in on 3rd down, keeping himself on the option and diving in for the score, 7-0. Buffalo State responds. Kyle Hoppy pitches it to Rich Pete, who gets some nice blocking from his teammates. He shakes off 1 tackle and goes the distance. 48 yards for his 8th rushing touchdown of the season, 7-7 tie. Later in the first, Buffalo State is at its own 8-yard line. Hoppy fakes the handoff, and out comes the cannon. Ryan Carney catches it in stride, and he won't be stopped. The 92-yard score was the longest of both players' career, and it puts Buffalo State ahead 14-7. Carney camera goes mean mug. Next Frostburg drive, Marquise Artis makes his presence known. He blitzes from the outside and sucks Emmons in like a vacuum. He just can't get away. Frostburg is forced to punt. Matt Brutus blocks it, laying out the punter, and Tyquan Simpkins sets up Buffalo State with great field position. Unfortunately, they only turn into 3 as Mark Montana hits it from 18 yards, 17-7. Buffalo State's defense creates more havoc. Andrew Cleveland sandwiches Smith into a fumble. Stekrak Tukaj recovers. The Bengals almost turn into points, but a high snap forces Justin Ragusa to roll out to his right and throw it out of bounds. Turnover on downs. Buffalo State's defense kills any momentum Frostburg gained. Shaq Frederick and Brutus sack him on 3rd and long. Hoppy gets hurt, so in steps Dan Serenase. The accuracy just isn't there. Frostburg's next drive begins at the 50-yard line. They finish it with a 13-yard pitch to Ben Sasu for the score. Scott Cohen gets there just a little late, 17-14. Isaac Robinson attempts a 52-yard field goal to try to tie it at the half, but the kick sails wide left. Hoppy returns in the second half and gets picked off, attempting a bubble screen. A 3 and out gives Buffalo State the ball back, and Hoppy picks up where he left off in the first quarter. Billy Joyner is wide open and takes it 43 yards for his first score of the season. 24-14. Buffalo State tries to tack on 3 more at the end of the 3rd quarter, but Frostburg sends pressure up the middle and William Sewell blocks it. They try to return it, but can't gain any positive yards. Midway through the 4th, Frostburg mounts a comeback. Isaac Robinson fakes the field goal and runs left. John Alessandra isn't fooled and tracks him down. No, not today. Ha ha ha. Starting at the 3, Hoppy fakes the handoff, and it's another edition of Carney Camera. He catches it and goes across the field for a 52-yard gain. Carney finished up with 2 catches for 144 yards. Wow. Trey Jones finishes the drive with a 28-yard score. He found some nice cutback lanes, and Mr. Zigzag does it again. He had a breakout game against them last year, too. Frostburg tries to get another score, but Emmons severely underthrows his target, and Sherman Nelson gets his 4th gift of the season. Pick my lottery numbers, please. Buffalo State wins it 31-14, improving to 4-1, its best start since 1999, which is the last time the Bengals went to the NCAA playoffs. Hoppy missed the majority of the second quarter, but still managed to throw for 225 yards and 2 scores. Rich Pete had 121 yards in the score. He's now rushed for over 100 yards in 5 consecutive games. Shaq Frederick led the defense with 16 tackles. Next on the schedule is the undefeated and nationally ranked Ithaca Bombers, but until next week, here are the interviews.
Frostburg is going to be a very good team. They're young. A new coach who is starting his culture out there. So they just came off 2 straight losses. So in a situation like that, and playing Buffalo State, who's 3-1, coming off a very big victory last week about Salisbury, even though they're looking forward to it, I don't doubt that there is a little bit of doubt in the back of their mind. And if you have a team that has doubt, then you don't want to give them anything to cease those doubts. Keep them, let's make them reality. So that's the thing that as we come out with any, and I can say that with any, we want to come right out and make things happen. And we did. We had some nice starts and did some things, but we got to keep it going. Got to keep it going.
I just got a little bit dinged up there. Just had to get out for a couple plays. It's good to let Dan get some reps in there too. Make sure he's ready, and Dan did a good job coming in for me. Right before we got out there, I was still trying to warm up and get ready to get back in. And as soon as the offense went out there, it was perfect time to go back in. So I didn't really have to think about anything. Just went in and did what we planned on doing, our game plan, and we just had to execute.
It was just a play action call. It was funny. Coach Boyes called the play in the huddle, and I had a weird feeling. I looked at Mike. Mike was like, "Go get it." We ran out there and ran it, and I was wide open and made it happen. He's just a competitor, man. He's a winner. And he came in at halftime, looked at the trainer and said, I think I can go, warm it up, see if I can throw, and the rest is history.
Well, with field goal, we never use that as a playoff. A lot of teams take that as a playoff, but every day, every week in practice, we practice that situation, and we know it was ready for a fake, and every day in practice we actually run a couple fakes against us, so we're always ready for that. So I knew that fake was coming. The coaches alerted that to us. We communicated on the field who had who. I saw him run out. I broke downhill, and I was able to make the play.
Basically, the first half, there was guys, we weren't doing our assignments as a defense. Basically, going into halftime, when there, we talked the team up, coaches talked to us, and we got down to playing Ball State football, which is being a dominant defense. Well, it's great having linebackers like Shaq and Marquise, because one thing, Shaq knows all the play stuff, so like the strengths, he's calling everything out, and then he's fast enough to get over the top and strong enough to take on a block. Then you got Keith, he's just stripping everything.